Dunkman is the first professional league dedicated to dunking, built to give elite athletes the global stage, a true global stage, and a long-term career path. The roster is 24 of the best dunkers in the world, including athletes from outside the United States, like some cat named Chen from China, and a 3-time NBA Slam Dunk Contest winner, and Mac McClung. He saved the dunk contest as far as I'm concerned when he won 3 of those Slam Dunk Contests. The group stage action continues all summer on TNT and HBO Max at Overtime Elite Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. And the Dunkman World Champion takes home a $500,000 grand prize, the largest in dunk history. The arena is open to fans. I'm gonna tell you, for me personally, I've always had this dream, this vision. I shouldn't say always, but it's happened over the last decade or so. I think what has happened to the Slam Dunk Contest for All-Star Weekend has been a travesty. I think that it has been awful. I think that even though I give major props to Mac McClung, the fact that a G Leaguer came into the NBA All-Star Weekend and took it over and won 3 times, I think that in as much credit as he deserves, it's also shameful that others didn't participate. I remember one year giving major props to Jaylen Brown because he participated in the Slam Dunk Contest, and I really, really appreciated that because he's a star in this league, and he didn't have to do that, but he did it, and I got to give him credit where credit is due in that regard. But I've always been of this mindset. Have a nationwide Slam Dunk Contest. I've said it, I proposed this on this radio show, I proposed it on television, I proposed it to the commissioner of the National Basketball Association, Adam Silver. I did so years ago. Unofficially, that is, meaning talking. I didn't create some written presentation. I just presented the idea to him because I meant it and I feel adamant about it. I think there should be a nationwide Slam Dunk Contest. And then based on that nationwide Slam Dunk Contest, the top 10 dunkers are picked, and the top 5 All-Stars from each conference sponsors a particular player. Meaning you're just coaching them. You're participating by coaching them and being involved in them. And I said in that way they're involved, but they don't have to dunk. They're just a part of the festivities. And let these brothers put on a show for the fans. While a star, a Steph Curry, a LeBron James, and others, Shea Gilgeous and others, Luka and others, pick the player they want to sponsor and sponsor one of those 10 players for the dunk contest. That's what I think it should be. I've also been on the record stating that that's the biggest critique I've had against LeBron James. I think he ruined the Slam Dunk Contest. I think it's all his fault. I've said that many times. Because he's the first superstar with athleticism that had him playing above the rim that refused to participate in the Slam Dunk Contest. And everybody followed. That's what I believe. I've said it many times. I ain't backing up from it. But that's neither here nor there.
I am so excited to be talking about the state of the Slam Dunk Contest, and I have to say, it's a topic that's near and dear to my heart. As many of you know, I've been a huge fan of the NBA for years, and the Slam Dunk Contest is one of my favorite events. But over the years, I've noticed that it's lost a bit of its luster, and I think I know why. I think it's because the biggest stars in the league aren't participating. And I'm not just talking about any stars, I'm talking about the likes of LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant. These guys are the faces of the league, and when they don't participate, it takes away from the excitement of the event. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but Stephen A., the Slam Dunk Contest is still exciting, even without the big stars. And to that, I say, I disagree. I think the Slam Dunk Contest needs the big stars to be relevant. It needs the likes of LeBron and Curry to participate, to make it must-see TV. And I'm not just talking about the fans, I'm talking about the other players in the league. When the big stars participate, it raises the bar, it makes the other players want to step up their game. And that's why I've always been a proponent of having a nationwide Slam Dunk Contest. I think it's a great way to get more players involved, to make it more exciting, and to bring back the prestige that the event once had. And I'm not just talking about the NBA players, I'm talking about players from all over the country. I think it would be amazing to see a contest where you have players from different levels, from different backgrounds, all coming together to showcase their skills. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but Stephen A., that's a great idea, but how would it work? And to that, I say, it's not that hard. You could have a series of regional contests, where players can come and showcase their skills. And then, you could have the winners of each region come together for a final contest. It would be amazing, it would be exciting, and it would bring back the excitement that the slam dunk contest once had. And I'm not just talking about the players, I'm talking about the fans. I think the fans would love it, they would be excited to see their favorite players participating, and they would be excited to see new players emerge. And let's be real, the slam dunk contest is all about the fans. It's about giving them a show, it's about entertaining them, and it's about making them excited about the game of basketball. Now, I have to say, I'm a bit disappointed in LeBron James. I think he's a great player, but I think he's made a mistake by not participating in the slam dunk contest. I think he's one of the most athletic players in the league, and I think he would be amazing in the contest. And I'm not just talking about him, I'm talking about all the other big stars who don't participate. I think they're missing out on an opportunity to showcase their skills, to entertain the fans, and to make the game of basketball more exciting. But despite all of this, I'm still excited about the slam dunk contest. I think it has the potential to be one of the most exciting events in sports, and I think it can be a game changer for the NBA. And I'm not just talking about the contest itself, I'm talking about the impact it can have on the game. I think it can bring more attention to the game, it can bring more fans to the game, and it can make the game more exciting. And that's why I'm so excited to have Shaq on the show today. Shaq is a legend, he's a Hall of Famer, and he's one of the most dominant players to ever play the game. And I know he's got some strong opinions about the slam dunk contest, and I'm excited to hear them. So, Shaq, my man, what's up? What do you think about the state of the slam dunk contest? Do you think it's still relevant? Do you think it's still exciting? And Shaq, I have to say, I love your honesty, I love your passion, and I love your energy. You're always speaking your mind, and you're always telling it like it is. And I think that's what makes you so great, I think that's what makes you so beloved by the fans. So, Shaq, let's get into it, let's talk about the slam dunk contest, and let's talk about the state of the NBA. I think the slam dunk contest is still relevant, but I think it needs a boost. I think it needs some new blood, I think it needs some new excitement, and I think it needs some new energy. And I think that's where the nationwide slam dunk contest comes in. I think it's a great way to bring in new players, to bring in new excitement, and to bring in new energy. And I think it's a great way to make the contest more relevant, more exciting, and more entertaining. And Shaq, I have to say, I agree with you, I think the big stars need to participate. I think they need to step up, I think they need to show the world what they can do, and I think they need to make the contest more exciting. And I think that's where LeBron James comes in. I think he's one of the most athletic players in the league, and I think he would be amazing in the contest. And I think he needs to participate, I think he needs to show the world what he can do, and I think he needs to make the contest more exciting. So, Shaq, what do you think about LeBron James? Do you think he's made a mistake by not participating in the slam dunk contest? Do you think he's missing out on an opportunity to showcase his skills, to entertain the fans, and to make the game of basketball more exciting? And what do you think about the nationwide slam dunk contest? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it can bring new excitement, new energy, and new relevance to the contest? I think the nationwide slam dunk contest is a great idea, and I think it can bring new excitement, new energy, and new relevance to the contest. And I think it's a great way to get more players involved, to make it more exciting, and to bring back the prestige that the event once had. And I think Shaq, you're a great example of that. You're a legend, you're a Hall of Famer, and you're one of the most dominant players to ever play the game. And I think you would be amazing in the contest, and I think you would bring a lot of excitement, a lot of energy, and a lot of relevance to the contest. So, Shaq, let's get into it, let's talk about the slam dunk contest, and let's talk about the state of the NBA. I think the NBA is in a great place, I think it's more exciting than ever, and I think it's more entertaining than ever. And I think the slam dunk contest is a big part of that. I think it's a great way to showcase the skills of the players, to entertain the fans, and to make the game of basketball more exciting. And I think Shaq, you're a big part of that, and I think you're a big reason why the contest is still relevant, still exciting, and still entertaining. And finally, I have to say, I'm excited to see what the future holds for the slam dunk contest. I think it's got a lot of potential, I think it's got a lot of excitement, and I think it's got a lot of energy. And I think Shaq, you're a big part of that, and I think you're a big reason why the contest is still relevant, still exciting, and still entertaining. So, Shaq, thanks for coming on the show, thanks for sharing your thoughts, and thanks for being a part of the conversation. It's always great to have you on, and it's always great to talk about the slam dunk contest and the state of the NBA.